Welcome to our third homeschool boot camp this summer, and I'm super excited to be talking about homeschool curriculum with you guys. Not only are we going to be talking about homeschool curriculum, we're going to be talking about how to choose the right curriculum for your family. So you stop wasting your time and money on things that don't work at all for your homeschool. And I'm pretty sure that some of you guys can testify that we tend to buy a little bit more or a lot more than we actually need and use in our homeschool. So we're going to be talking about those things too. First of all, for those who are new here, my name is Anna Willis, and I blog about homeschooling at theycallmeblast.org. We have an awesome Facebook group called Blast Homeschool Moms. And we provide advice, we provide recommendations, we help them with tips, with practical ideas to make their homeschool better so they can truly enjoy the journey that they're on. And my main goal is to help homeschool moms go from stressed to blessed. That's my main goal, is to help them experience a restful homeschool instead of a stressful homeschool. And let's just say that most homeschool moms out there are very stressed out, especially at this time where they're just trying to get back into homeschooling, trying to get the right curriculums for their families. So my job is to help you and to ease off that load from your shoulder, just help you be more confident in what you're doing, give you more peace of mind, give you that confidence, right, that you need, and bring the community and the support that you need as well. That's what They Call Me Blast and Blast Homeschool Moms and the Homeschool Sisterhood, which is our membership group, all about. So first of all, I want to talk about 10 reasons why you might be overwhelmed with your curriculum choices. And then I'm going to talk about my magic formula to choose the right curriculum, which is the 6 steps, 6 important things that you need to pay attention to before you actually buy your curriculum. So I'm going to keep my eyes on my notes here so I don't get distracted very easily. So let's talk about, first of all, 10 ways to avoid homeschool curriculum choices overwhelm, because it is overwhelming in so many ways, especially if you're homeschooling multiple children like I am right now. I have one that is going to 3rd grade, one that is going to 5th grade, and one in 6th grade. So 3 different grades, 3 absolutely different kids with different learning styles, different passions and natural gifts, and just different way that they absorb things that they're in, things that they're interested on. So all of those things can be overwhelmed if you don't have them nailed down. So let's talk about 10 things to avoid homeschool curriculum overwhelm. The number one is have a clear mission statement for your homeschool. Know what your homeschool stands for. Know what the reason why you started to homeschool. Know your goals for your homeschool. That's so important, because your vision of homeschooling, what you have envisioned in your mind, or what you the goals that you have for your children, will play this huge role in what kind of curriculum you're going to use with your children, right? So if you want your children to be more Christ-like and you want them to have a good, strong, faith-based education, then you need to make sure that you're using a Christian curriculum. It has to be a solid Christian foundation curriculum to give you to make those goals come to be accomplished, right? Or that vision come to pass. So you need to know those things. Have that clear vision for your homeschool, your goals, your mission statement nailed down before you even get to try to choose your curriculum. Now, if you want a secular homeschool curriculum, then make it clear in that vision and that statement that you want a secular homeschool curriculum. So, for example, this is what I call like the foundations of the strong foundation for your homeschool. It's to make sure that you know your why, your vision, your goals, and have that mission statement ready. In my homeschool, and this is what I have written down here, right? My vision, my goal is to help our kids to grow in wisdom and stature in favor with God and man. And that comes from Luke chapter 2, verse 52. And I want to stir in them the love for learning, the love for reading books and researching. I want them to be independent learners. I want to bring them closer to God, to shape their character so they can be more like Jesus. So all of those things, for me, it's important when I think about my curriculum, when I look at books that I need to buy for my kids every year, I ask myself, will that bring me closer to the accomplishment of my homeschool goals? Will that bring them closer to God? Will that give them a stronger foundation in their faith? So all of those things I have to consider, right? So I want to raise successful children to impact their generation for God's glory, who will walk in kingdom's vision and be filled with the Holy Spirit. So all of those things are important when I pick a curriculum. So for example, right now we're using language arts lessons for living education. And I love it because there's a lot of Bible in it. And it does help them with their relationship with the Lord. So I picked that curriculum, and one of the things that actually I was amazing by it was the fact that all my kids' third grade, I think the third grade book for my daughter, it talked about the biblical feast. It talked about the Sabbath. So it talked about like the Feast of Tabernacles and all of those things. I'm like, this is amazing. So that was like a big fact, that was a big important point for me to choose that book for master book, because it's very it uses a Christian worldview, and it's very Bible based. Same thing with sunlight, same thing with apologia science. If you want your kids to grow in their relationship with the Lord, the understanding of who God is and about his wonderful creation, all of those things, then those things are a must, right? So that's very, very important. So before you even think about buying your curriculum, I advise you to collect some homeschool curriculum catalogs, bookmark sites that you find yourself visiting again and again. That's what I did a lot when I was researching Sunlight and Apologia and so many of these other curriculums. I got the catalogs in the mail, IEW, Master Books, Sunlight, and I kept looking and going through some of the curriculums, looking for the pros and cons in each one of them. So it's always helpful that you do your research well done before you choose your curriculum. Don't just don't just judge a book by its cover. Right? We always say that. Don't judge a book by its cover. It might look really good and it might be interesting to you, but it might not be what is best for your family. And I've committed this mistake a few times. So I know what I'm talking about. It looked so appealing to me, but it wasn't appealing to my children at all. So it wasn't really what they needed. And I ended up wasting money and time buying that curriculum. So try to get as clear as possible all the options that bring you closer to accomplish your homeschool goals before you spend the money on it, right? So let me go ahead and open this tab here so I can keep my eyes on my notes. So number 3. So number 2 is collect catalogs and bookmark sites so you can research well those curriculum. Number 3 is set a clear budget. Set a clear budget. And if your budget is about $200, I'll say try not to spend more than $150, because if something doesn't work well, chances are you're going to have to spend more money on it. So have a set budget for your curriculum. I think it really, really helps. I do have a lot of great posts on how to put your whole curriculum together in a really tiny budget. So you can go to the blog and you can read some of those posts there. I'll try to share some of those things with you guys. Yeah, if I can. Let me see if I can. One of the things happening right now too is the homeschool edition of the Build Your Bundle, and it is amazing to save money, and it's only on for like 3 days. Let me go ahead and, oops, I'm going to put this on the chat here for you guys. So Tatiana is saying, guilty, spending money on curriculum that you don't use it. Okay, so let me put you homeschooling on a tight budget. There you go. There is a good blog post that you can read and give you more idea. Don't read it now, just wait a bit more. Let's carry on here. But you can go later on and you can read. There's 7 tips there for you to, if you're homeschooling on a tight budget. Listen, you don't need to buy all the books. You can use a lot of things from the library. When you buy curriculum, I tend to buy curriculum. They are mostly reusable. That's why I love Sunlight, because 80% of the curriculum, it's all reusable. So I can actually use with all my children. I can pass on to my sister-in-law or to my friends. I can sell it. It's much better, much, much better. All right. So point number 4, borrow and try before you buy. Borrow and try before you buy. Guys, we have a lot of homeschool friends around us. So before you know if this is going to work for your family, ask your friend if you can borrow for a day or 2 and try it out. Right now, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Actually, I didn't borrow this one, but I did print out the samples from their website. I've been in love with the curriculum that is called History Revealed from Diana Waring. And to make sure that this is going to work well for my family or not, I print out their free samples on their website. And I've been going through one full lesson, one full chapter with my kids. So I print out the teacher's guide, and then I print out the kids as well. So the student manual. And I've been going through this lesson with my children. I want to see their reaction. I want to see how they respond to it. I want to see if this is too much for them or if this is a good fit for them before I go and I spend money on it. Now, same thing, Sunlight, you can download it 3 weeks of their curriculum for free and see if it works for your family. There are a lot of great homeschool curriculums out there that will allow you to download samples. Grammar Galaxy is another example of that. You can download free lessons, free samples, try it with your family and see how they're going to respond it. So borrow or try it before you buy it. Look for those homeschool curriculums that you can download a sample. Sometimes, like I said, we judge the book by the cover, and it looks really, really great, and it sounds really good when you read about it. But once you open it and you start using it, that's when you really see if it's going to work for your family or not. I had many good and bad experiences with that. Just say I spent over $300 in the math curriculum once that everyone said it was amazing, was amazing, was amazing. I bought the whole thing for all 3 kids, and my kids hated it. And while it works amazing for other families, it just didn't work for my family. And I ended up having to sell it for like half the price because it was not a company that I could stand it back and get 100% refund like I'm used to Sunlight. Sunlight, if you buy Sunlight curriculum, not only you have all the perks of financing up to 9 months while you're homeschooling that year, but it's 100% guaranteed refund if it doesn't work for you, even if you have done pages of the curriculum already and you have written on it. If it doesn't work for you, Sunlight gives you 100% money back guarantee, even weeks later. So not all homeschool curriculum companies work this way. So find the ones that give you samples that you can download, try it on with your kids, do a few lessons and see how they will kind of respond before you actually fork all that money. So tip number 5, ask your kids what interests them. Involve your kids in the process of choosing the right curriculum for them. What they're passionate about, what they're interested on, it does speak volumes. It does speak volumes. I like to involve my kids in like our science curriculum, give them the options of what we're going to study or when we're picking some unit studies. talk to them about your history options and see which one they think that they're going to be more interested on. My kids love ancient history so much. We've done it twice. We've done 2 years. We've done it 3 years ago, and then we've done this past year again. They wanted to do it again, and every time we do it, we learn more and more. So involve them in this process of choosing what they love and they're excited about it. Like last year or 2 years ago, actually, it was all about learning American history and Canadian history. And that's where they were so super excited about it that if I had pulled in, like if I had done Sunlight Sea and talked about, I don't know, whatever, Renaissance or colonial times and stuff, it just wouldn't be as interesting to them as it was to introduce them to the early explorers and all of those things. Because that's where they were reading about it, they were excited about it, they were watching documentaries about it. Tip number 6, share your own interests with your spouse. Share with your husband. Even if your husband is not very involved with your homeschool or picking a curriculum, your husband knows you well, and he knows your children well too. And he's going to be able to give you a really good feedback that will help you. See, I can show my husband a few things that I know he's going to tell me right away, this is going to be too much for you. I can see that you're not going to be able to finish this up. He knows me. He knows how much I can handle. And he knows if something is going to be overwhelmed for my children. So, for example, we've seen amazing curriculums out there that the books are this thick. And while they are amazing, just like the thickness of book will overwhelm my son. I know that. So I try not to get things that are like way too thick, right, Tatiana? Tatiana is saying, yes, my husband is good at calling me out when I'm trying to do too much. My husband is too. He helps me with that. He knows what's going to overwhelm me and what's not. So that's really, really helpful, right? So involve your spouse in the process. Share the options with your spouse, and it's good because it's going to help you not only see if it's going to be too much for you or not, but he also going to see the financial side of it, the budget side of it that we talked about it, right? So yeah, Ryan is commenting, he's watching comedy, says like, I try. Yes, right? Your husband can try like Ryan does. Like he doesn't understand everything that we do because he's working all day, but he knows when our math books work for us or not, when our language arts book work for us or not, and when we're trying to, Tatiana's saying, you're awesome, Ryan. I know. Tatiana is Ryan's like number one fan. But involve them in the process, and involve your kids in the process. That's very, very important. All right, you guys stop throwing confetti on each other there. All right, tip number 7. Ask your friends on social media, ask your homeschool friends, but be careful with this one. Okay, be careful with this one, and that's why I'm saying, I just mentioned it a little while ago, what works really well for you might not work for your friends, and vice versa. But ask for your opinion. I saw somebody in our Blast Homeschool Moms group the other day asking about History Revealed. Have you guys done it? And immediately, like, Tatiana jumped in and said, I actually commented and said, Tatiana have done it with all her kids. She has done all of the books, and she has told me wonderful things about it. And I've been actually considering to use it as well this year. But I think it's still a little bit too much for my kids. That's why we're trying before we buy it. Right? So you can ask in our homeschool group, in our Facebook group, you can ask in our Facebook page, you can ask in other groups, but you can ask your local homeschool friends as well. Ask them, have you used this curriculum? What are you using for geography? What are you using for language arts? And get their feedback. Ask them to be honest with you. Did you think it was too much for you? Or do you think that the kids got bored with it? Ask all kinds of questions. Keep in mind, our kids are not cookie cutters. They are different. They learn different ways. So you need to also, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but you need to consider each one individually, the way that they learn before you spend money on a curriculum. Tip number 8 is make a decision not to decide. Does that make sense? Make a decision not to decide. It's okay to postpone a decision when you're confused, when you're overwhelmed, and when you're not certain of what's going to work for your family. Okay? It's okay. And even if I'm still having trouble picking science for this year, I can go ahead and start math and language arts and history and delay my decision to pick a curriculum for science for a month until I am certain that that's what's going to happen. It's okay. You can always catch up. You're a homeschooler, right? Your calendar is yours. You can make up your own thing to catch up with the first lessons. It's okay to decide not to make a decision at that time if you're feeling overwhelmed and if you're not ready to choose yet. Don't buy it simply because you're running out of time. That's a lie of the pit of hell. You're not running out of time because your time is yours, right? You dictate what happens when in your homeschool. So it's okay. If you need to take a break and wait a little bit more to pick something, you can do it as well. If you're not certain about your homeschool and you want to wait a few more weeks to start, just do it. I'm still finishing up curriculum from last year. We haven't finished this year completely. And yet my middle daughter, who finished her math 2 months ago, is already doing the next year's math. It's okay. It's homeschooling. You're in control. Tip number 9, keep everyone on the same page. Keep everyone on the same page. Well, it's great to be able to personalize it. If it overwhelms you, find a way to use the same material as much as possible across many children. So when I say keep everyone on the same page, you can pick curriculums that you can use one curriculum for multiple children. And basically, this is what we do for history. This is what we do for science. This is what we do for geography. This is what we do for music and for everything else. The only things that I buy individually for my children is their language arts. And a lot of our language arts actually we do together. But language arts and their math books. The rest, we all learn together using the same curriculum, the same books. There is no way you can get a full grade for each child and go through it. You're going to be burned out in the first month of homeschooling. That's just insane. I see some people, and I know like certain things can't really work well for certain people, but there are curriculums that overwhelm me just looking at the amount of stuff that they have to do it. Great, awesome curriculums like ABACA or BJU, they have the videos, they have the textbooks. If I have to do a full grade with each one of my children using those curriculums, I will have no life. I will have no life. They will have no life, right? So you need to see, is that something for you? And yet, like one of my best friends, my kid's best friend, uses ABACA, but he's the only son, is just the only child. And it works really great for them, right? But for me, with multiple children, wouldn't work. For me, what works well are curriculums like Sunlight, My Father's World, or other curriculums where I can have all my kids learning at the same time for most of the subjects. Jennifer is saying, it's hard for me to ask friends because not many of them work and homeschool like you do. And that's when you go to your social media, your online community, Jennifer, right? It's so important to have community. So be plugged into a community. And if if you feel shy, you don't want to ask in a group, then just send me a message. I will ask the group for you. I don't even have to tag you there. Right? And I can ask, like, what are you using for science? Let's say, do you have a 5th grader and what you're using for science? And let people talk about what they're using, if they like it, if they don't, give us a little snippet on those curriculums. So Jennifer's, Tatiana, said, I tried using different things for every subject for 6 kids my first year. It was a nightmare. I bet, Tatiana. It has to be a nightmare. I don't think anyone can do this. But they're always the champions out there. It's like 1 in a million, but they are. So make sure that you're teaching multiple children as much as possible to just, get rid of that heavy load of curriculum and assignments and readings. It's just too much, too much. The other thing too is that we do here, we love reading and we love reading aloud, but audiobooks are our best friends. I can't possibly sit down and open a book and read, or multiple books like we do. But Ryan can testify that we get in the car, audiobooks, we're listening to amazing audiobooks. We're home, we can all listen to audiobooks while I'm in the kitchen, or while I'm folding clothes, or while I'm sweeping the floors, right? So I don't have to sit down with the book open in front of me. Try to find ways to simplify your curriculum as much as possible. As much as possible. Do less, but do better. If audiobooks fit your family well, use audiobooks more than the paper book copies, which I love the paper book copies too. But audiobooks, it's been amazing for us. Even our science this year, we've been doing audiobooks with our science from Apologia, which is great. I love it. We do our memory work, all audio and visual as well. The videos, 7 minutes every morning. We do it. I just had a master class with the Homeschool Sisterhood this morning, and I was showing them all about it and how it saves me so much time, because we cover 9 subjects in less than 7 minutes every single morning. Absolutely amazing. My kids listen, my kids watch it, and that's it. So try to simplify as much as possible your homeschool so you can get rid of that heavy load on your shoulders. Less, the better. The less, better. Okay? All right, point number 10. And that's my favorite point. Don't stress about it. It's not the end of the world. Kids learn, even watching Wildcrats. Let's just be honest. Magic School Bus, Wildcrats, documentaries. I love Pure Flix. There's tons of documentaries. Especially they got all this stuff from Answering Genesis for my kids to watch. And they got Torchlighters and Friends and Heroes and all of those great things that teach them, like science and history and Bible. Don't stress yourself. If curriculum is something that is stressing yourself out, then I think you need to submit it to the Lord. Really, cast your cares on the Lord. Let the Lord lead you. Ask the guidance of the Holy Spirit when you're planning your homeschool curriculum. Pray and ask the Lord to show you what to use and how to use and what's going to work for your children. Nobody more than the Lord and you will know your children, right? Like the Lord knows your children better than even you know your children. So ask the Holy Spirit to guide you. Don't let it be a burden on you. Don't let it be like your homeschool curriculum. It's a tool in your hand. It's something that it's used to facilitate the learning in your home, and it should be something that it just brings joy and peace to you as you use it, not the other way around. You're not supposed to be a slave of your curriculum, and your curriculum should never be something that makes you feel like it is a burden. Oh, I need to get this done. No, that's why we want to be very careful and picking our curriculum, because we want our curriculum to be something that we love and enjoy doing together, and not something that we hate doing. Because if you hate doing, then guess what? That was never the perfect curriculum for you, no matter what, right? Okay, so let's move on to the second part of our homeschool bootcamp today. So we talked about 10 ways to avoid homeschool curriculum choice overwhelm. I'm just going to quickly just recap them for you. So number 1, let me go back here quickly. Number 1, develop a mission statement, clear goals and vision for your homeschool. Know exactly what do you want to get out of your homeschool. What do you want to get out of your homeschool year in particular? And set goals for each one of your children as well. Not just for the whole homeschool, which I do, but each one of your children. Do you have a child that needs to conquer division and multiplication by the end of the year? Do you have a child that needs to be reading by the end of the year? Do you have a child that needs to be writing an essay by the end of the year? Have some clear goals for them. That will help you to pick the right curriculum for you. Number 2, research. Collect catalogs, bookmark sites that has really great curriculum that your interest. Make sure that you're reading about it, you're asking questions about it. Just do your research well done. So, after you buy it, don't go like, oh, I thought this was one thing, but it's completely different. Do your research well done. Like I said, and we're going to talk about that in point 4 too. A lot of curriculums, you can go and download the sample, download a full lesson, download 3 weeks like Sunlight. You can use that to make sure that what you think it is really what it is, right? So point number 3, set a budget. And try to spend always less than your maximum budget, because if something doesn't go right, you still have a little bit of wiggly room to go and buy what you need until you sell the other curriculum to someone on your local community, in your local homeschool community, or online. Number 4, borrow or try before you buy. And that's what I was talking about, the examples. So the samples. So borrow and try before you buy. If you have friends that are using a curriculum that you've been really curious about it, ask if you can borrow it for a day or 2. Go over the books, go over the assignments. Actually, do one lesson with the kids. See how they're going to do it. See how they're going to respond to it. I do have a word of caution, is that a lot of the things might sound really great because it's a novelty to your children. And they might do really, really good with 1 lesson and 2 lessons. And then the novelty runs off after 3 or 4 lessons. And all of a sudden, they're not really liking that curriculum. So the more you can try, that's why I love that Sunlight gives you 3 weeks to try the curriculum before actually you buy it. I do have a link for that someplace. I just can't remember now, but I'll try to get it for you guys. So number 5, ask your kids what interests them. Get them involved in the process. Number 6, share your interest with your husband. Let your husband also take a pick at the options. Your husband knows you. He knows how much load you can carry. He knows what interests your kids. So make sure that everyone is involved in the process. This is not just a mom's burden to carry, okay? This is for the whole family. So make sure that everyone is involved in the process. Number 7, ask your friends. Ask your friends on social media, go on online groups and ask them about certain curriculums that you've been curious about it. Ask your local homeschool friends about it. Number 8, make a decision not to decide. If you're still confused and overwhelmed and you're not sure about a curriculum, don't buy it. Do not buy it. Postpone until weeks later, a month later, doesn't matter. Your homeschool calendar is yours. You can do whatever you want. You can start later on. You can just start everything now and put that subject on hold for later on. But don't make a decision based on, I'm running out of time, because that's a lie of the pit of hell. You're not running out of time. You can start at any time, any curriculum you want. So make a decision not to decide if you're still confused. Number 9, keep everyone on the same page. Use curriculums that you can teach multiple children at the same time. It is the best way to homeschool. It simplifies your homeschool. It cuts down time immensely. And everyone is on the same page. Everyone is learning about the same things. It just makes things so much easier. And tip number 10, do not stress about it. Homeschool curriculum, it's not made for you to be stressed about it. It's made to help you with your homeschool. You should never be stressed out about your curriculum. And the only time you will be stressed out about your curriculum is the time that you bought completely the wrong thing. Either because you were impulsive or because it looked good to you, but it doesn't really help with your kids because it's not their learning style. It's not what they were interested. So make sure that those 10 points that I shared with you are there to remove the overwhelm before you even get to the process of choosing your curriculum. And number 10, don't stress about it. We talked about that. Give it to the Lord. Pray about your curriculum, guys. We are spiritual beings. we are sons and daughters of the living King who's interested in everything that we do. Does God care about homeschool curriculum? Yes, he does. Yes, it does. Involve, ask the Holy Spirit to guide you and to lead you and to show you things that simply review of the curriculum will not show you, right? So it's important. It's really, really important that you give it to the Lord. Cast your cares upon him. So if it is feeling like a burden, then you need to pray about it. You need to give it to the Lord. You need to take a break and just wait and let the Holy Spirit guide you to the right curriculum. The more I pray about my curriculum, better chances are that I'm rested and I'm making a good decision, not out of desperation, not out of stress, not out of, panic, to be very honest with you, right? So that's very, very important. All right, let's move to the second part. I'm sure Tatiana is there like an angel just answering your questions and stuff. But if you guys want, let me give you the link for this blog post as well, because it's helpful. So I want you guys to go back later on and you can read it. And then we're going to talk about how to customize, how to choose the right curriculum for your family, how to customize your homeschool curriculum. Because as I said before, our kids are not cookie cutters, right? They're not cookie cutters. So we need to, as Charlotte Mason says, they are persons. So we need to learn to individualize them and see them as unique persons who learn in a completely different way. Oh, something happened here with my, got really slow on my internet, yeah. So let's go ahead to the second part. We did this first part, the 10 ways to avoid a homeschool curriculum choices overwhelm. Let's go ahead and do the second part, which is how to customize curriculum for your family. So I have this formula. I did not develop this formula. I learned it from somebody else who were grateful enough to teach other homeschool moms about it. And I've been passing on to as many homeschool moms as I can. And I will continue to do that until I know that the moms in our community are making better choices. They are making great choices for their homeschool families, for their curriculum in particular. So we're going to use this little homeschool, I call it my magic homeschool curriculum formula, but we're going to use the word family as an acronym, and we're going to talk about six very important things that we need to consider before we buy our curriculum for our family. Okay, so we got the word family there. The very first letter, the letter F, is for faith. Faith or philosophy. I know it's PH, but philosophy, faith or philosophy. So understanding what the faith and beliefs of your family are is important in setting a strong foundation for your homeschool curriculum. Like I mentioned when we were talking about the first part, for me, like having my mission statement, having my goals, knowing that what I want to do is bring my kids closer to God, give them a better Christian foundation for their lives, to build Christian character in them. It's important that I have a Christian worldview curriculum. I need to have a good Bible-based curriculum to use in our homeschool. So it's important that your family will be using a curriculum that strengthen your values and your faith. At least, like for me, that's very, very important. Maybe for some people, they just don't care. They will just use a curriculum that is a secular curriculum, but academically works well for their family. They are not really interested in the spiritual side of it. So it's up to each family, right? So the second one, so make sure that whatever you're picking, that's the first one, letter A, make sure whatever you're picking, that it's helping your kids grow in their values and their faith foundation. For me, like we want curriculum that involves the Bible, that has memory verses for copy work or for memorizing, for whatever it is. For us, this is important. Also, when it comes to science, as a Christian family, We do not believe in evolution. We believe in creation. So we're very careful picking our science curriculum because I don't want my kids hearing things that are not true, that we don't believe in those things and be indoctrinated by it. So we pick very carefully what we use for science. So letter A is for approach. So F is for faith or philosophy. Letter A is for approach. So before beginning your homeschool journey, ask yourself, how do you plan to approach the day-to-day structure of your homeschool? Do you envision your homeschool to mimic the traditional classroom setting, or do you envision it to follow more in the path of a Charlotte Mason philosophy of education, which is a more literature-based approach to learning, right? Charlotte Mason, this is the approach that we use in our homeschool. We use living books instead of just plain textbooks or plain facts books. So we like living books, and we make sure that we're reading lots of great classics. We're reading Shakespeare. We're just reading just great biographies. We're making sure that our approach is, it does include a lot of reading, and that's where we feel comfortable. But maybe your family does not like reading, does not like to sit down doing nature studies and some of the things that we do in our Charlotte Mason approach, right? Maybe your family is more like a tacky homeschool family. You're okay and you're great doing online courses, and we are too, and your kids can do a Monarch, which is a curriculum, a Christian homeschool curriculum, completely online on their own. They're really, great with that. So make sure that you are thinking about your approach when you choose your curriculum. Because if that curriculum that you're buying has nothing to do with the approach that you're choosing, it's just not going to feel right. It's not going to feel natural to you. So remember, there is no right or wrong method of approach. It has what works for your family or not, right? What works for my family might not work for you. And that's where you need to find and define your approach, your lifestyle. Your family lifestyle is going to tell you lots about, we're going to talk about that, but it's going to speak volumes when it comes to picking the curriculum. So I have lots of different posts also that talks more about different approaches, routine, and curriculum. There is a whole series called 30 Ways We Homeschool at the blog, and I'm actually going to give you the link for it. Let me see here. We have an amazing, really awesome ebook called 30 Ways We Homeschool, and you can download it for free, and you can peek into the homeschool life of 30 different families. Their approaches are different, their curriculums are different, like they live in different parts of the world or all over North America, and you can download it for free. And I think that is very inspirational, and I think it's very educational too, because you can see that different things work for different people, and you're going to get great ideas as well from those posts or in this ebook. So it's worth taking a look, and then you can look at their curriculum and how they use it, even their homeschool routine. How do they organize their homeschool day, and how many kids do they have, and all of those things. All right, so F is for faith or philosophy, A is for approach, and M is for money. Here comes the budget again, right? So make certain to budget according to your homeschool classroom, lesson plans, and field trips. Make sure that you include all of those things, not just your book. So when you sit down and you plan your homeschool budget, make sure that you have enough for your field trips, or I like to do memberships. So we did last year, we just finished our year of having the Science Museum membership. And it was awesome. We used it a few times, I think like probably 4 or 5 times, but it was worthy doing it. And it cost us way less than if we had to pay every time we went as a whole family, right? So maybe This year you want to get you're doing zoology and you want to get a membership to the zoo. So you can do that. You can learn about zoology, like if you're doing apologia, like zoology 1, and you're learning about birds and you're learning about insects and, you know, all of those things, or zoology 3, the land animals, and you can go to the zoo. You can go to the zoo and you can learn more about those animals. If you're doing apologia zoology 2, which is all the sea animals, and this is what we're going to be doing this year now, then you might want to get a membership to the aquarium. And you want to go to the aquarium, you want to go to the beach, you know, you want to explore the sea life. So that might be something that you want to consider put it in your budget, not just the books, right? Or maybe you want to do more, maybe you don't live near an aquarium and you can use unit studies to teach you more. Like we are doing this whole series of unit studies from Amanda Bennett this year. And Tatiana they do the Science Museum membership too. This year we're doing this whole series of unit studies from Amanda Bennett. We're doing Apologia Zoology 2 in audio. We're doing the Amanda Bennett unit studies, and we got oceans, dolphin, shark, whale, jellyfish, you name it. We're going to be doing unit studies on those. And we bought like the whole thing super cheap, super cheap on sale for 40% off. So that goes like a whole year of unit studies for us that we didn't have to buy any other books. And again, like we work through one unit studies, then we finish that one, and we get another one, and we're listening to the Apologia audiobook at the same time, and we're discussing things. It just works great for our family. It's very relaxing. I think it works best for us. But you need to find what works for you. So make sure you have a set budget. If you are in a very, very tight budget, I shared some of my tips there with you. Maybe we should just go through some of them quickly. Let me try to get through some of them. So my tip number 1, make use of your library card. Make use of your library card. You don't have to buy every single book. If your library has it, you can borrow it. And some libraries, I don't know where you live, how it works, but where we lived before, we had the same privileges as teachers, as homeschool moms, and we could actually have the curriculum of the books for a longer period of time than normal people would be able to borrow. So go to your local library, explain to them, hey, I'm a homeschooler. I'm going to be using certain books for our next unit studies or for our next whatever it is, or for a read out loud. How long can I keep this books for? And being a homeschool mother, do I have the privilege of keeping those books for longer? Ask them the questions. A lot of the libraries now, they have the digital, the ebooks and the audiobooks that you can borrow without paying any money whatsoever. So you can do that online. You don't even have to go there. Make sure you know the ins and outs of your local library system so you can take the best advantage that you can. Another thing that I highly recommend, and this is something new to me that I am so excited about it. I wish I was doing this before. Like I said, we love audiobooks and we use a lot of audiobooks. But I just finally learned about Scribd. And Scribd is the first 30 days is free. And then after that is $8.99 a month. And you get all audiobooks, all books, all PDFs, everything that you can think of on it. And like inside the Homeschool Sisterhood, we're going to be using 4 different books for our book clubs for the kids and for the teens. And just like in this next month or 2, all of them are on Scribd. So instead of paying for all of those books, the moms will have 30 days free. Then they're going to pay $8.99 each month after that. But they have access to all the audiobooks and the books for those 4 books, which saves them a heck of a lot of money. So look for opportunities. Let me see if I can get my, I have a referral link that you can click and sign up for free. Don't know what I get with that. I just know that it's here. Just says refer a friend, invite a friend. So I'm going to just give it to you guys. And you can try it and see what it works. See, I try to save as much money as possible while we are homeschooling, because there's no way we can pay for everything, right? Money does not grow on tree. So we need to make sure that we're saving as much as possible. So here is the free trial for Scribd. This is the link. I do, yes, I do use, I do have a referral link as well for the unit studies. And this week, unitstudies.com, let me get it here for you. They have a sale 30 all over their geography unit studies. It's called, they have like the Explore Israel, Explore Africa, Explore Mexico, Explore Canada, Explore, there's Ireland, and you can get them for 30% off this week. I actually shared this in our group late last night when I saw it, because we've done the Explore Israel one and we loved it. Loved it. Even though we lived in Israel, I know the ins and outs of Israel. I've learned a lot of new things. It was really, really cool. So that's another thing that I highly recommend too. So look for great deals. This is Unit Studies referral link. So look for great deals. The best deal that we have right now, I'm going to talk about in a little bit, is the Build Your Bundle. And it's just for 3 days. Normally only happens in May, but they're having a flash sale. I'll get back to it in a minute. So use the library as much as possible. Number 2 on how to homeschool on a tight budget. Okay, so this is 7 points inside 1 point that we're discussing about customizing homeschool curriculum. Number 2, optimize your use of digital resources. I love digital resources because I can buy bundles, I can download those bundles, I can use some things now, I can use some things later, I can reprint them to use them over and over again with my children when they get to different grades. So use those digital resources. There's a lot of free digital resources out there as well. If you go to our freebies page, I don't know if you guys have been there before, but if you go, I'm going to put to you, theycallmeblast.org/freebies. Lots of free unit studies, printables, a lot of great things there that you can sign up, free trials. There's like literally hundreds of things there that you can sign up for free. So you can get great stuff free out there. You don't have to pay for everything. So ebooks are great, save space, save money. Normally they are cheaper. Audio books, anything digital really helps, and printables. Tip number 3, homeschool bundles. And this is, I was talking to you guys about the Build Your Bundle. I'm going to give you the link now, not only because the Build Your Bundle is on sale right now, but because they are giving away a $300 gift card. Who knows if one of you will win that? Wouldn't that be cool? If one of you will win this $300 Amazon gift card, that would be awesome. I would like that. I don't need any more curriculum, but I know what Ryan will buy if he gets $300 from gift card from Amazon. A stand-up paddle. I knew it, Ryan. That's not what this giveaway is for. And I'm starting a giveaway tomorrow at the blog, and we're going to be giving away two $250 gift card for, I know that Jenna said she wants some too, two gift cards of $250 for christianbook.com, which is one of my favorite places to shop for curriculum or anything else. So keep your eyes open. You're going to get notifications from me. So homeschool bundles are amazing. Right now, you can get the Charlotte Mason bundle, the STEM bundle, history bundle, unit studies bundle, character training bundle, Bible activities bundle. There's all kinds of different bundles. You can pick and choose what you want. You can make your own bundles. So you want to click there and go there and check it out. It does save me a lot of money every year. I always get the bundles. I get ready every May to buy the bundles. And like I said, this past year, I didn't buy any curriculum because I used a lot of stuff from the bundles. So that did save me a lot of money. Tip number 4, printable resources. We kind of talk about that when we're talking about the reusable, the digital stuff. Printable resources, things that you can print and use over and over again. Tip number 5, reusable curriculum. Like I said, I love Sunlight because 80% of Sunlight curriculum is reusable. So I use with all my children, then I sell it. And now actually Sunlight is buying back from you. And I think they give you a big discount on your new curriculum when you send the old one in. So look into all the stuff that's Sunlight curriculum do, because they're pretty cool. I love that they do all those things. You can actually go to my let me see if I can copy this. You can go to my YouTube channel later on and you can watch this video. I know I love Sunlight. It has always been my favorite. I don't know what I would do without it. But you can watch this video on how Sunlight curriculum, simplifies my life. That's why I'm eager to get back on Sunlight this year as well. So you can watch this video later on. Tip number 6, notebooking. Notebooking is such a great and cheap way to learn. It's so good because the kids are writing down the things that they are learning. They remember with their own words, and you can sign up. Like I have the membership, the lifetime membership for notebookingpages.com. They just rebranded right now, and I think it's called Productive Homeschooling. But you can download a bunch of samplers in this link that I'm going to give it to you and use this. So notebooking pages, free sampler. All right, so you can go there and you can take a look at the new website and everything else. I love notebooking. And it doesn't matter how much your kids write, as long as they write the basic stuff that they remember and they are learning, and there's space for drawing, and it's a great way. And you can like just go there, like seriously, you can go there and you can just pick whatever topic it is. So let's say you were learning about the Roman Empire. So you go there, you type Roman Empire, and then all the options for the notebooking pages will come, and you click and you download it and you print and you use with your children. You're learning about insects. You go there, type insects. All of those options of different notebooking pages for insects will come. Nature studies, Bible, whatever it is. And it's like we pay once for this lifetime membership, once, and then you can just keep using. So look for things that, that's awesome. So you have them, what was it? Right? Bimbachi? Spiraled? you bind them and you aspire them, and you have them all beautifully together at the end of the year, right? It's awesome. It's really, really great. I love doing notebooking pages with my kids. And number 7, and that's the last one, and then we can get back to the other list. So number 7, get free resources. And I already gave you guys the website, our own link, or theycallmeblessed.org/freebies. You can get a ton of free homeschool resources, ebooks, unit studies, notebooking pages, meal planners, copy work pages, free app trials, online unit studies. You will find a lot of stuff there. So you can use it for your homeschool this year. I am a big believer that we can simplify and we don't need to break the bank to homeschool. We don't, right? We can do a great job and not have to break the bank to give our kids a great, great education. All right, let's go back to where we were. We talked about F stands for faith or philosophy, A stands for approach, and M stands for money. And you can and you should be able to homeschool without breaking the bank, and use your free resources, get homeschool bundles, go to the library, all of those great things that you can do. So letter I stands for individual. Individual. Charlotte Mason said, our children are born persons. They're not made persons. They are born persons, right? They have body, mind, soul, spirit. They are a complete person, and we need to make sure that we're seeing the uniqueness in each one of them, because they're completely different from each other. They're not cookie cutters, and we need to pay attention on each one of them, how they learn, right? How they absorb things, how do they process things. That's very, very important, that we're seeing them as individuals. So understand that your children is an individual, and their learning style needs to be treated as such. It's so important. Is your child a visual learner or a doer? Or my daughter, the way that she learns is taking notes. Never taught her to take a note in her life. She's 9, she takes notes every time she's learning something. She puts a little notebook by her side, and she writes keywords, and she writes things that she thinks is important for her to remember. That's how she learns. Do they prefer to just watch videos? Is that how they work? Or are they hands-on learners? Make sure that you're paying attention. Be a student of your child. Make sure you know how they learn, how they process, and how they absorb things. So that makes a huge difference when it comes to choosing your curriculum. If your child is a kinesthetic child, they learn by hands-on things. Make sure you're adding hands-on projects. So that's why we do lab books. That's why we build different things in our homeschool. Even if it's a poster, that they are cutting and gluing things that they have to have their hands. If they're doing math, chances are they need manipulatives to play around. That's the kid that loves building with Lego and connects and all of those things, right? So make sure you're paying attention to them as individuals. If you want to know what type of learner your kids are, I'm going to give you another link here. You can go to the blog and you can find out there. So type of learner. There you go. There's a free guide there on the blog. You can click on it, and you can read it through it and make sure that you find out which type of learner your kids are. Now, some of them will have mixed learning styles, and that's absolutely fine. You know, my son is visual, audio, and kinesthetic. He needs all three things. So that's why, like, I'm loving trying this History Revealed, because it does appeal to all kinds of learning styles. Same thing with Sunlight. It appeals to all kinds of learning styles. Okay, so letter L. So F is for faith and philosophy, A is for approach, and M is for money, I is for individuals, L is for lifestyle. What lifestyle am I talking about? Your family lifestyle. Well, being able to homeschool is an amazing experience and opportunity. It's also as important to understand and find the balance with everything in life that goes on continuously as well. So understand how your family interacts and use that to enhance the learning opportunities in your home is fundamental. It's key. Are you a techie family? Are you book lovers? We talked about that at the beginning. What's your family lifestyle? Relaxed, unhurried? Do you travel a lot? Find what works for you according to your lifestyle. If you're not the kind of family who can sit around our table for 2-3 hours doing book work, don't even try it. It's going to be horrible for you, right? If you like to be out doing nature walks and be outdoors and all this stuff, and that's how your kids are, and they're more active and they love being outside and they love great books, don't bore them with an online curriculum that they have to sit in front of the computer all day. Make sure you're paying attention to all of those things. Not only you're thinking about them as individuals, but you think about your lifestyle as a family, right? If you travel a lot, then hey, go be road schoolers, right? If you're a techie family, then you're going to be better off with an online curriculum that everyone sits down in front of their screens. I don't recommend that all the time. We do use online curriculum, but we don't like to be in front of the computer or the screen all the time. But hey, it might be what works for your family. Find what works for your family. Your lifestyle is important. If you are more relaxed and you don't want to sit on a table doing book work the whole time because it's not going to feel relaxing to you, but maybe a literature-based curriculum will feel really relaxed. Everybody can sit on the sofa and cuddle and read stories or listen to audiobooks, and that's how it's going to work well for you. All right, so I know that this is what works well for my family. My family is happy when we're reading great books together. This is their happy place. This is my happy place. And the letter Y, which is the last letter of our acronym. And Y stands for you. We haven't talked about you yet, but hey, you're the teacher, right? You're the mama, you're the teacher, you're the facilitator. And while I don't believe you should be picking the curriculum that is just appealing to you, you are very, very important part of, picking a curriculum, because it has to be a curriculum that you can teach. So you are the person who is going to be the main educator and taking charge over the framework of your homeschool curriculum. So understand your wants and your needs, as well as what your strengths and areas of improvement are, as well, is important. How do you envision the day-to-day, and what aspects do you mostly look forward to? Before venturing to homeschooling, talk to your children about your teaching style and how you envision the first weeks of transitioning happening. And let me tell you my own experience with this. My kids, and Ryan is really good with that, they love doing science experiments. Moa, don't even think about it. I'm being honest with you guys. I am not the Pinterest mom. I am not the science in the kitchen mom. So science curriculum that requires me to be doing experiments in the kitchen with my kids are not going to work for me. Not going to work for me at all. But there's always a way to compromise things, and I'll show you how I compromised mine. Hold on. So we love science, and I said that to you guys already. And we have fun learning science. And for 6 years in a row, we use Sunlight Science. Last year was the only year that this past year was the only year that we didn't use Sunlight Science. But with the Sunlight Science, they have these DVDs that actually have every single one of the experiments done on video for you to watch. So instead of mama having to go to the kitchen and do this, we watch the videos together. I know it sounds lame, right? But it's what works for me, guys. It was awesome. We watched people doing the experiments, but I didn't have to get my kitchen all messy. But Ryan loves that. He does once in a while with the kids. He will go outside and experiment with the kids and explode things all over the floor. And it's okay. But that's a curriculum that requires me to do this all the time. It's simply not gonna be, not gonna work for me. So find that place of compromising. It's very important. The way that you teach, the way that you're comfortable. I am not comfortable doing science experiments, but I'm comfortable reading books. So find your strengths and then outsource those points that you're not so strong with, that you don't feel called to, okay? It's just harder for you to do it. Outsource. I love math. I am not good teaching my kids math. So as much as I love math, I got CGC math for my kids. And I can't tell you enough good things about it. For the past 3 years, my kids sit in front of the computer, they watch the video for 2-3 minutes, they do their math, no complaining, no crying, no screaming, and they got their math done, and I don't have to teach them. I don't have to teach them, right? So whatever your strengths are, just do more of those things. But if there are things that you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel confident about it, it's okay to outsource. It's okay to compromise. It could be through videos. It could be through an online course. Just find what works for you. So again, there's no right and wrong when it comes to choosing a curriculum. Um, it's not like, this curriculum is completely wrong for me, but it's right for you. No, it's not actually like that. There's what fits your family and what doesn't, right? That's the main point. Your curriculum needs to serve you and your family well, instead of you feeling like your curriculum is a burden and it's not working. Like, I don't want you to experience that. I really want you to find what works well for your family so you don't have to waste time and money on it. And you can actually have a great time learning together. I hope that this has been really helpful to you guys. I hope that has shed a light on the whole idea of choosing the right curriculum for your family. And if you have any questions, I'll be so glad to answer them. I know that Tatiana has probably answered all the questions that you guys have because she's awesome. But I hope that this has brought more clarity to you and that you feel more confident in choosing the right curriculum for your family this year. Okay, thank you so much, you guys, for being here. I think we're going to do one more homeschool boot camp next week on Tuesday. I'll keep you guys posted and I'll send you the link to register. And again, go to our Blast Homeschool Moms group on Facebook. It is an amazing group. It's a drama-free community. It's just so encouraging and inspiring. And if you have any questions about any curriculum or anything homeschool related, you can ask the questions there. We have very amazing homeschool mentors in that community. Moms who are willing to encourage and to help other homeschool moms. And we are there for you. We're there for you. So I hope you guys had a great time and you have learned a little bit more. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Love you too. Have a great afternoon, ladies. Bye-bye. Make sure you copy all those links before you go. There you go. Thank you, Tatiana. Bye.